Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. I have with me a very special guest, an entrepreneur and a creative person who has a lot of great stories and great, great, I don't know, maybe lessons to take from. Darren Brown, how are you?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. It's so great to meet a lot of different people and to do this in a kind of organic way to try to talk to all types of people and to get to know them and especially their stories if they're interesting and also what they do. So can you give me a snapshot of what you do exactly?
Yeah, my name's Darren Brown, and that was a great intro. I'm the
Thank you.
owner of Advantage Business Consulting, and I help people monetize their creative talents through business. So I'm a branding and sales consultant. A lot of people on social media posting a lot of content. There's a lot of noise. There's not a lot of people actually making money from it. So that's where I come in
Yeah.
and help people monetize their talent.
Yeah, so when did you start venturing in this career?
Yeah, so like we talked before we start the interview, I started off. I tried my hand at reality TV shows, at doing some extra work on like Chicago PD and things like that, and I did like it, but at the same time, I saw that like media, there are a lot of people in it that weren't getting paid, and they weren't
Yeah,
really building a personal brand for themselves. So I saw that in the television industry, and I also saw that a lot online. And then having a business background, my question was, how can I put the two together? Getting people, and not necessarily to make everybody rich. I'm not one of those guys that say, we'll get you $50,000 in the first month. No, but maybe we can do $1,000 in the first month. Let's make your first thousand, and then add on and add on. And that was what really inspired me to start my business, is to kind of help people make a couple bucks from being creative.
yeah. So how did you actually get the idea? Is it something that you do in your personal life, trying to be creative, trying to do stuff a different route than anyone else?
Yeah, I just think that when it comes to personal branding and creativity, that you are unique. Everybody's unique, and some people are better at expressing their uniqueness than others. But those that are able to get a platform to express their creativity, to express their individuality, I think that can be a powerful tool for them building a personal brand. And people that have done it are household names: Oprah Winfrey, Martha Stewart, Steve Harvey. You know these names, you don't even have to think twice. So
Yeah. Yeah, you know their coffers, shall we say?
exactly.
Yeah, to put it mildly. Uh, so when you work with alongside people who are creative, and you know they don't want to do certain things, and you have to force their hands. So how do you go about it?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I have clients that have paid me $3,000, $4,000 for my opinion, and then don't take my opinion. And then when it doesn't work out, it's like, hey, how come you didn't tell me? Well, I told you. It's like going to the doctor. If he tells you, hey, blood sugar is too high, you need to, reduce your sugar intake, and you choose not to do it, then you have to live with the consequences that come. So I try to encourage my clients and give them suggestions and recommendations, but I try not to tell people what to do, because at the end of the day, it's your brand, it's your individual expression. And there are a lot of things that there's just no really set in stone right or wrong way. So I don't want to be somebody to come in and I'm molding them to be the way I would be. I want people to
Yeah.
still be creative. So I give suggestions. I'll put
Yeah.
it that way.
So did you always want to work with creative people, or you had different career paths, shall we say?
Well, my business has grown. I started off with more on the marketing side. And actually, my business started off as Advantage Financial Consulting. I was doing financial consulting, and it was good, but it just didn't really fit. This fits me, my personality. Just fits. I love it. I'll do it for free. Um, So I've gone more from marketing into really getting deep into branding. Branding is really where it's at. And unfortunately, in this social media age that we're in, I hate to say this, but it's the truth. Your reach, the amount of people that you reach, actually can deter as more has a bigger impact on your brand than the quality of what you do. I have some clients that are excellent at what they do, and they haven't really mastered social media or building their brand, and they are struggling. And I have other clients that I think personally that their product isn't as good, but they're crushing on social media, making tons of money. So it's just something you can't ignore, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big problem what you just mentioned. I think that a lot of people are shaking their heads and saying, this can't be real. This can't be a real product that someone is trying to shove to me, trying to force me to watch them. I don't want to. So stop running all those commercials. I don't care. I have other
Right.
things to do. So about the marketing side, what would you recommend to someone? Is there some kind of media or platform that is better for some people and not for others?
Well, what I would say is it's really focused on what you're putting on the platform. The platform itself, there are some advantages and disadvantages, but really what matters is that everything you post should be entertaining, inspiring, and informative. Those are the three keys: entertaining, inspiring, and informative. You focus on the quality, focus on delivering value to the people watching. Don't be too salesy. Everything you post shouldn't be, hey, buy my this, buy my that. You know, really start giving people value. And when you start giving people value, then the dollars will come. So that's my advice.
Yeah. So if you want to do what you love and you want to make money,
Mhm.
how do you reconcile those two things without actually, it's a big problem. And I think it doesn't have to do exactly to what we're talking about, but maybe the effects of media and being popular and the exposure has an effect on the human soul. So what do you think about people that are losing their identities to the social media, to popularity and money?
Mm. That's a very good point. I think that social media has its place. I think like any too much of anything, not a good thing. I think that social media is not necessarily real life, and I think it has a different impact on some people than others. Me personally, I use it to promote my brand and my business. I don't really need any, this is me personally. I don't have any, social validation issues or body image issue. Like I don't use social media for that. So I just use it for my business. So using it on a personal side, I would say, now these days, yeah, set a limit. You might not want to be scrolling 7, 8 hours a day. That might not have a good effect on it. I feel like 20 or 30 years from now, they're going to do all these studies on what social media has done to us socially. I know when I
Yeah.
go out to a bar or something, everybody's on the phone, nobody's talking like they used to. So it has its pros and cons for sure.
Yeah. So when you work with a client, do you take on someone or do you first try to evaluate the person before you start working, or will you ever turn down someone for
Yeah.
representing them? Yeah.
Yeah. I will turn. There are some I have to turn down. Actually, a good amount. Uh, people that, and I have to say this from a business standpoint. People that you have to teach social media, what a post is, what Facebook is. You know, if you have to teach those basic things, what will happen is that you only have so much time with the client. They're only paying for so much of my time.
Mm,
So it chews up a lot of their time and a lot of their dollars just learning the basics,
yeah.
and they won't get as far along versus
Yeah.
somebody that is already a low level influencer or is already used to posting and they need more guidance than actually teaching them branding from scratch. So I try not to really take on the people that haven't learned it from scratch. I have tons of free content and stuff. I tell them, check this out, follow me for a while first. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so there are some I would turn down. And everybody's business is really, everybody doesn't want to build a personal brand. Some people just want to market their business and make sales. They don't want to be seen. They don't want their face to be on it. And those people definitely are not my target audience.
Yeah. So I hate to ask this, But did you ever catch a rising star, shall we say, or someone
Mm.
who is on that path, shall we say?
Yeah, for sure. I'm working with Joe Lockett. He has a radio show out of Alabama. We start working, uh, and he was reaching about, I don't know, maybe 1,500 people a month. Now he's hitting averaging right about 3.5 million a week. I
Damn.
can't take all the credit because he is really good at what he does, but at the same time, we've been working together, and he's hitting numbers that are just out of this world now. So it's only a matter of time before NBC or ABC or one of the major
Yeah.
networks brings him onto something.
Yeah, or Spotify will
Yeah,
pay
something,
him
something like that.
100 million to get
Yeah,
on their platform. Yeah.
like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to. But yeah, you can. I don't want to make the idols out of those kinds of people, but people will do that anyway naturally. So I can't avoid it or prevent it.
No,
But
absolutely.
I just want to talk in the last part of our conversation. I feel we can go on, but I feel we should dedicate some time to for this question.
Mhm.
What is the exactly, in your opinion, the value of art? Let's say everything that is classified as art.
I love it. That's a great question. You see the art behind me. I'm big into
Yeah,
art. I don't. I'm not a master of it, but I have a very deep appreciation for art and every type of creative expression. I feel like some forms of creative expression are stereotyped, but everybody has the right, in my mind, to express themselves however it is, whether it's expressing their love, if they want to be gay or straight, if it's expressing their creativity through their business, whether it's through painting, sculpture, through your hair. You see, I got braids here.
yeah,
There's so many different ways to express yourself in an artistic way. And I applaud people that not only do it, but also have an appreciation for those others that express themselves in their own creative way as well. So that's huge to me. I think that in living in a world where it's such there's like a lot of followers and people kind of robotic sometimes, people
yeah,
that
yeah.
are into expressing themselves creatively really strike out and they stand out. And I think that's something to be applauded.
Yeah, so I think this was a great talk, and I think we have a lot more to discuss in the future if you're
Awesome.
up for it.
Awesome. Yes. Thanks for having me, man. This is great. Those are great
Yeah,
questions. Those
thank
are really,
you.
really good
Thank
questions.
you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, so thank you for agreeing to appear on my podcast.
No problem.
This was great, and I think we have a lot of this topics to cover in the
All right. Well,
future also.
I look forward to the next one. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you. Thank you
All right.
for watching.